We love him. We all know him. I want y'all to give a round of applause for Ryan Rogers. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
New Orleans, how are we feeling tonight? I said New Orleans, how are we feeling tonight? That's amazing. Hi, my name's Ryan. I'm letting you know up top we're going to cover a lot of ground. We're going to do it very quickly. We're going to cover a lot of ground. We're going to talk about family. We're going to talk about marriage. We're going to talk about drugs. We're going to talk about mental health. But a lot of it's going to be very gay. So if that's not your thing, stick with me. And if you're good, I'll do suicide jokes too, if that's okay with you guys. First question, where are my gays at? Make some noise. All right, shut the fuck up. Tonight's about me. Gays, they will tell you, won't they? Straight guys, where are you at? I don't like that either. Straight guys, I got bad news for you. I was on Grindr in the back, and Summer, you were fucking lying. I'm not gonna out you, but ladies, check his phone. Do you guys think I could pass for straight? Be honest. No. That was way too fast. Fuck you. You could have thought about it for like a second. Like, you're right though. I don't think I can pass for straight at all. At this point in my life, I feel like the only people who think I'm straight are the doormen at strip clubs. That's it. I had to go to a bachelor party on Bourbon Street last week, and the doorman looked at my ID and he just goes, "All right, my brother, come on in. It's titty time." I just looked at him like, "Sis, is it?" The music in there sounds really good. It's Britney time. I have some big news. I've decided to do dry January. Thank you. So I had to throw away dozens of bottles of lube. It's gonna make me stronger, you know? It's gonna make parts of me stronger. Speaking of which, I've been bottoming a lot recently. But I'm thinking about stopping. I'm torn. Oh, that's so... Look, if you don't like gay jokes, I've only got one or two more hours of material. Kids used to call me gay. It was yesterday outside of a Starbucks. I have a theory that eventually everyone becomes gay. Right? It could be 5 years from now, or it could be tonight if everything goes according to plan. I see you. Or it could be like decades from now, when you're old and infirmed and on your deathbed, and your last thought is, "I wish I would have tried dick once," and then... You know, now you're dead and gay. Like... And you gotta take it up with Jesus. And then you take it up with Jesus. So. All right. I have a theory that maybe Jesus was really bad at hand jobs. You know, because of the holes in his hand. Or he was really good at it, you know? Just slip it in and slap down on it like a bop it. Stigmata, the original glory hole. Okay. Okay, all right. I grew up in the church, I can say that. I grew up super Catholic. I even had a crucifix tattooed on my back. So that when the dudes were smashing, they could honor the passion. Look, I think it's really cool to be like out and proud in 2024. That's amazing. Because when I was a kid in the late 90s, early 2000s, you had to be closeted. And you had to be ashamed until one day when you were outed by your ringtone. You just be sitting at home with your buddy playing Mario Kart on N64. And then all of a sudden your mom calls you on your Nokia Generation 1. And your phone's like, if you want to be my lover. And then my buddy's like, dude, is that the Spice Girls? Are you gay? And then I'm like, how do you know about the Spice Girls? Are you gay? And then he locked the door and jerked me off. But joke's on him, he's got a beautiful wife and 3 children now. And I'm doing this. Answer my DMs, Kyle. I'm gay and I talk like this. Which is lucky, you know? Because what if I talk like this and I wasn't gay? You wouldn't believe anything I'd say, right? Like, I could come up here and mansplain FanDuel sports betting at you. And you'd probably be like, I think this fag has a gambling problem. I could come up here and talk about my relationship. I could be like, oh, I have this beautiful lady at home. And she's just gorgeous. And you'd probably be like, I don't think conversion therapy works at all. I could go down on a woman right now. No, I couldn't. Ew. Ladies, let me set the record straight. Yes, I do eat pussy. Thank you. And I swallow. My own vomit the entire time. Ew. The last time I had sex with a woman, George W. Bush was in office. That's true. Which means 9/11 was so scary I ran into the arms of a woman. You know? The towers went down and so did I, both equally catastrophic events. Our troops went to Iraq and this fruit was eating cat. That's what When I was young, this is a true story. When I was young, this woman told me that my voice sounds like I have dicks in my mouth. Can you hear it now? But then, good news, 10 years later, she died of throat cancer, so. That's karma. And also, rest in peace, Mom. She's alive. She was at the 7 o'clock show. She hated it. She did. She was like, don't tell that joke again. And I go, I got bad news for you. I've been telling that joke for 9 months. Like, I'm gay and I'm a little homophobic. That's a paradox. And sometimes it's a pair of dicks, unfortunately. Let me explain it to you. Have you ever had tequila before? Yeah. Like a lot of tequila, perhaps? Yeah. Like, let's say, for example, 400, 500 shots of tequila over the course of your life. But then maybe after that, you can't stand to be around tequila anymore? Yeah. That's how I feel about other gay guys. Like, it's not their fault. I've just put way too many down my throat. Now I can't stand to be reminded of my past mistakes. You know how tequila works. Are there any other homophobes in the room? Make some noise. Speak now. All right. Look, I wasn't really expecting anyone to make noise, but when I ask that question in Alabama, they do the wave. It's fine. I love asking where the homophobes are because it gives me a really clear picture of who's absolutely 100% gonna try to fuck me after the show. Y'all, it happens every time. And I can let y'all know from experience, a MAGA hat looks really different from this angle right here. So roll tide, I guess. Are there any Republicans here? Fucking knew it, dude. Like, it was everything gave it away. Look, I love Republicans. Look, I'll be real. I just don't like right-wing extremists. I think that's fair. Because they're obsessed with people's genitals. They are. Like, that's the whole thing. Trans bathroom bans, banning gender-affirming care, the drag queen shit, it's all about people's genitals, and I fucking hate that about them. Because that's the one thing I have in common with them. I'm obsessed with people's genitals. And I've got some questions about them. Like, what do you got? Where are you putting it? What's it taste like? Can I come over later? What time will your wife be home? Should we kill her? Normal questions. These are normal questions. I don't hate anyone really. The truth, I hate people with dyslexia. Dyslexia is like not real, you know that, right? Just like sound it out. Oh my God, what are people with dyslexia gonna do? Cancel me? Good luck writing a tweet. I live in New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans. I travel for stand-up comedy a lot, and sometimes it takes me to really cool places. But sometimes it takes me to really rural communities. And I face homophobia when I get there. I'm used to it. It's like part of it. But just once, I'd love to go to a small country backwoods town and get there and discover that it was simply way too gay. Like, that'd be a fun surprise, right? Yeah. Like, you get there and the city hall is a nothing but cake store. There's a statue of Reba McEntire in the town square. She's not from there. And on every porch, there's some big fat redneck in a rocker. But he's wearing sequin overalls and 301 lashes. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, around these parts, we love the music of Charlie XCX and the films of Luca Guadagnino. He's like, yeah, around these parts, they call me Pop Pop. Because that's what I do with my pussy every Saturday night at the VFW hall, you know, for Big Frida night. I love rural America a lot, to be honest, because in my opinion, cities like New Orleans are getting a little too liberal. Hear me out. They opened up a diner by my house last week, and it's just called Woke. And I got there, and they're like, do you want your coffee black, or do you want it gentrified? They're like, yeah, we have bacon, but it's Gaza strips of bacon. And we got a really good pie, but it identifies as non-binary. And then I go to fucking Turkey Creek, Mississippi, and they're like, these are grits. Do you want them or not, faggot? And I think that is so charming. That's cute. It's cute. Some of you guys got weird when I said faggot. Some of you didn't, which was weirder. But I can say it. You can't. Like, that's part of the deal. But I'll be honest, like, faggot is never going to have the same history, impact, or cultural cachet as the N-word. It never will. That's okay. It shouldn't. Think about it. Replace any phrase with the N-word with faggot. Not cool. Faggots in Paris? We know! Like... It's the Olympic diving team. They're called faggots. Like... Faggots with attitude? Yeah. Like, redundant. Just me and my friends at brunch. Faggot, please? That's just what I say to the flight attendant when I want more peanuts. What's up, my faggot? It's anal beads, obviously. Okay. Well, there's 24 more anal beads jokes, so... Like I said, I grew up here in New Orleans. Where are the locals at? Locals? Yeah, that's great. That's great. I grew up here in New Orleans. I grew up in a really progressive family. And my dad taught me really young that you can't be racist or homophobic in New Orleans. Because you just can't. And the reason he said why is because you could be walking down the street anytime, day or night, and meet a black drag queen. That's what my dad said. We found out years later, like many dads, his heart was in the right place. But his dick was in dozens of black drag queens, we found Fortunately, that runs in the family, too. And that's why my stepmom is Stiletto Davenport Chapatulis. Stepmom. I'm actually a millennial. Where are the millennials at? I feel bad for kids today. I feel bad for Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Because kids today will never know the joy and the horror of jacking off after school. In plain sight at the family computer. They're not gonna know that. That's why millennials, we all have anxiety, because we were all just beaten off with a time frame. You know? That's why they called it Windows 98, because we had 9 to 8 windows to get off before mom walked in. In 2001, my dad came home with a brand new computer, and he plugged it into the wall, and he called us all in, and he said, "Hey, check it out. It's a gateway." And I just looked at him like, it sure fucking is. Like, a gateway to seeing every open butthole on the planet. A gateway, if you will, ma'am. After about a week, we had to call a repairman out to the house. That's true, because I'd infected it with so much porn. I dicked it down to death, y'all. I DP'd the PC, is what I'm saying. My dad pulled me aside. He said, "What were you watching on the family computer?" And I had a very rational reaction. I locked myself in my bedroom for like 8 hours, and we had a standoff. So my dad finally said, "If I can guess what you were watching on the family computer, will you tell me?" And I fell for it. I was like, "Yeah, Dad, I'll tell you." And without even taking a breath, my dad was like, "Was it gay?" And I just looked at him like, "How'd you know?" And my dad said, "Oh, thank God." By the way you reacted, we could have sworn it was animal stuff. I said, Dad, when did you know I was gay? And my dad goes, that's easy. When you were 4 years old. And you insisted on dipping your McDonald's French fries in garlic aioli. That's when we knew. At the time I said, Dad, I'm not gay, I'm bisexual. And my dad looked at me and he goes, he said, no, you're fucking not. Like, he said, bisexuals don't walk the way that you do. He said, you're clearly a gay person. You don't have any follow through. That's the real problem. You know how dads are with follow through. When we were little, like I said, I'm from the West Bank. When we were little, we moved from Gretna to Algiers. Lateral move. Didn't, not an upgrade. I found out recently, it's true story, I found out recently that one of the reasons we moved when I was a child is because a convicted sex offender moved in across the street from us, in the house across the street. My mom just told me that's a true story. And my mom told me that, I was like, Mom, that's actually really cool. That you thought about the safety of your small children, that you bought a house and moved us across the city for our safety. That's amazing. And my mom looked at me and she goes, well, yeah, he was a pedophile, but he was also very attractive. And we knew you. We knew you, even from a very small age, would put him in a compromising position. Answer me one question. What the fuck does that mean? I was like, Mom, what did you think I was gonna do? Show up on his front door like, knock, knock. Looks like you're not the only predator on the block. Maybe leave a trail of Honey Nut Cheerios from his welcome mat to my Power Ranger sleeping bag. Maybe drive by in my little white Fisher-Price van like, beep, beep, need a ride, mister? I got candy, cigarettes, and scratchy lotteries in here. Like, that's so stupid. Huh? Married couples make some noise? I'm also married. You're the only one that could ride on the pride float this year. The rest of these people are fucked. Married to a man. Don't woo, it's a man. Like, I'm married to a man. I feel like I should clarify that so you don't think there's some poor woman at home. And this is what I do at night. Just come on stage and tell them a little secrets. Like I'm married to a man. That's not even the gayest thing I've ever done. One time I did ketamine with Billy Porter. And 4 of the 5 Queer Eye guys. In a bathroom on Fire Island during an underwear party while a Cher song was playing in the background. And that's still the second gayest thing I've ever done. The first is buying a Ford Fiesta. Me and my husband, we get along for the most part. We fight sometimes. If you guys didn't know this, gay fights are really different than straight fights. The way they start off is very normal, very hetero. Laundry, dishes, honey, why aren't you wearing your cock ring tonight? You get it, bud. You get it, buddy. I love you. But then the way they escalate is very homo. Like the other day, my husband called me and he goes, hey, I needed a ride home from the airport today. Where were you? And I just looked at him like, where was I? Where were you in 2009 when I flew to Washington, D.C. to march for marriage equality, huh? Where the fuck were you? Still in the closet? That's convenient. So. We're working it out. We've been together for 8 years. We've been together for 8 fucking years. Yeah. Yeah, I've been there for 8 years, so I'm getting to the point now where I feel like I need to make things spicy. So my new favorite activity is to follow my husband out the front door whenever he leaves the house and just scream into the street, "Fine, leave, just go, you asshole!" Because I plan on going missing later this year. And I'm trying to build a narrative with the neighbors, you know what I mean? I've even got a Gone Girl diary at home and everything. I'm ready to go. By the way, I was really stoned one time and I couldn't remember the name of the movie Gone Girl, so I just kept calling it Girl Bye. And I think that is so fucking stupid. I'm really happy that a couple years ago Congress passed the Respect for Marriage Act. That's very cool. There we go. That's my husband, the one woo. Cool. He's very grateful this is happening. But I'm really afraid the Supreme Court's going to overturn gay marriage, because they could if they wanted to. And that really scares me. Because if we get rid of gay marriage, we're going to miss out on the best part. And that's gay divorce court. Gay divorce court is fucking hilarious. Gay divorce court is just two grown men trying to get out of all the responsibilities they've entered into. They're like, "Oh, these children, no custody, please, Your Honor. My new life starts right now. Snack time for daddy starts today. Glory holes over jelly rolls, Your Honor. Holes before rolls is what I'm saying." And lesbian divorce court is just a fist fight in an AutoZone parking lot. So much simpler. Lesbians always have it figured out. Like, it's fun. Straight people, you guys can get divorced for any number of reasons, right? Irreconcilable differences, growing apart with age, coming to a stand-up comedy show, seeing me, realizing who you really are, leaving your wife, any reason. Any reason. Any reason. Any reason. Any reason. But gay guys, we can only get divorced for one reason. And that's to earn and achieve the title of divorcee. So fancy. Gay guys want to be two things, fiancés and divorcees, nothing in the middle. It's like, what am I, French? Let that get divorcee? Okay, where are the parents at? If you got kids, make some noise. Okay, I'm happy for you. Me and my husband, we don't have any kids. We don't have any pets either. And when you don't have kids and you don't have pets, there's really only one thing keeping your relationship together. And it's the most powerful emotion in the universe. And that's fear. So while a lot of parents are shuffling their kids off to gender-inclusive pickleball practice, I don't know what you do. While y'all are doing that, I'm at home. And I'm putting on a ski mask. And I'm creeping up behind my husband while he's watching Chopped, and I'm chloroforming him. And then I throw him in a van, and I drive around for hours, and I get to a destination, and I pull him out of the van, and I throw him in a chair, and I pull the bag off his head. Boom, we're at Applebee's date night. Abduction and seduction edition, you know? I'm like, "Ooh, you're so wet." And he's like, "Yeah, I pissed my pants." Guys, that was a joke. We would never go to Applebee's. Fancy facts. You guys drinking tonight? Yeah. Great. I can't. I'm celebrating 3.5 years sober. No, you don't have to clap. You're having fun. I'm not. It's fine. Like, I'm 3.5 years sober, but I love those girls on Instagram, though, that are like, 7 months sober today. And I'm like, "No, Emily, you're 7 months pregnant." Like that comes with. That might as well be court ordered. It's umbilical cord ordered. That's a new one. Okay, yeah. I talk about being sober on stage sometimes, so people ask me. They're like, "What were you addicted to, huh? Were you shooting up with heroin under a bridge? Were you drinking lukewarm Everclear to get through the day? No, it was so much worse. I was addicted to cocaine and White Claw. I'm so gay, even my drug addiction was girly and annoying. You know? I loved being a gay drug addict, though. That was fun. It was a lot of fun. Because whenever I heard the words, "this is uncut," I was thrilled either way. So. That was about cocaine and circumcisions, Mom. Thank you. People don't talk about this, but recovering drug addicts and alcoholics, we have the best stories about drinking and drugs. Like, you try to outdo me, but good fucking luck. Oh my God, you got so wasted and passed out in the front yard. Well, one time I tried to fight and fuck the same undercover cop in the same night, so... I'm not impressed. This one time I was in Biloxi, Mississippi. First mistake. And I drank an entire bottle of Grey Goose by myself at the bar. And I blacked out. And at one point I reached across the bar, past the bartender. I grabbed a full jar of olives with olive juice in it. I drank it like that, and I screamed, "I'm a motherfucking martini now!" So I don't drink anymore. This one time I was in the back of an Uber and I had cocaine on me. But we didn't have a flat surface to do lines off of. So I said, I know what we'll do. We'll use my phone screen. We'll do lines off my phone screen. That'll be fun. And it worked for about 5 minutes. Until I realized the entire time we've been broadcasting on Facebook Live. That's a fucking true story. I wish I were joking. And I only found out when my phone started buzzing and it was my Aunt Lisa. So I put her on speakerphone in the back of the Uber and I was just like, "What's up, Aunt Lisa?" And she was like, "You're doing cocaine on Facebook!" And then she said, "Can you bring some to Easter?" An 8-ball and some crescent rolls. You know how Aunt Lisa's are. When I gave up drinking, I didn't realize I'd have to give up my favorite thing in the world. And that's drunk driving. Don't act like it's not fun. It's so fun. That's why it's illegal like 37 different ways, you know? I haven't had a drink in 3 years, which means I haven't driven drunk in 3 years, which means I haven't enjoyed a Yin Yang Twin song in 3 years. It's a disaster. It sucks. Drunk driving's so fun. Picture it, 1 minute you're going 80 in a school zone listening to Kesha. The next minute you're listening to Fast Car by Tracy Chapman and crying because you'll never be young again. The next minute you're at a Taco Bell drive-thru ordering 8 Crunchwrap Supremes with your butt cheeks spread at the speaker box. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a Baja Blast, is what it is. But even though I don't drink anymore, I still like to fuck around. Like, my favorite thing to do is to drive around with a case of non-alcoholic Heineken Zero in the passenger seat. Whenever I get to a stoplight next to a cop, I like to look him in the eyes and just shotgun one of them. Just wish a motherfucker would. There's no better feeling in the world than knowing that you're gonna beat those charges. And I get no joy out of blowing a 0.0. But in terms of wasting a cop's time, 100.100. Boo cops. Cops?
No.
Really? I'm just kidding. You guys have taken enough heat. Heat? No. You guys like yoga? There's no segue. Make some noise if you like yoga. Oh. I think yoga is for white women and for men who pee sitting down. That's what I think. And I can say that because I'm a yoga instructor. I'm from New Orleans, but for a while I lived in San Francisco, California, which is a shock to no one. But when I lived in San Francisco, I taught yoga. When I taught yoga in San Francisco, I was at the height, the apex of my cocaine addiction. So my class had a really different kind of vibe, you know what I mean? My class was like listening to a meditation app on triple time speed. Class was supposed to be an hour. I got it done in like 14 minutes flat. My favorite part about teaching yoga high on cocaine would be to inject class with weird cokehead facts. You know, like cokeheads do? Yeah. Yeah, you know. Do you have any cocaine? I don't want to use it. I just want to like smell it a little bit. I tell my class, okay, plant your feet hips width distance apart, and now extend your fingertips up towards the ceiling. And now relax your shoulders away from your ears. Like Madonna in the music video for Vogue. Oh my God, did you guys know that David Fincher directed the music video for Vogue? David Fincher, the guy who directed Fight Club, and Seven, and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and Benjamin Button, and Social Network. He directed the music video for Vogue. He also directed the music video for Suit and Tie by Justin Timberlake. People don't talk about that. That's fucking crazy. Anyway, inhale, expand, exhale, fold. When I lived in San Francisco and I taught yoga, I also used to work for Google. I do stand-up comedy now. It didn't work out. When I worked for Google, I had money. People don't talk about this, but having money and doing drugs is a lot different than not having money and doing drugs. When I moved back down to New Orleans, I was with a friend. We were in the French Quarter. It was 3 a.m. And he said, hey, you want to go get some Coke? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, I love drug deals. You show up at the guy's pied-à-terre and you take your shoes off at the door, and then he escorts you down the parlor where you get to have snacks and sample the drugs, and then he gives you your stuff in a monogrammed envelope with your name and calligraphy on the outside of it. And if you spend enough money, he gives you a 24-karat gold spoon to do your Coke off of. Yeah, and then let's go! And my friend looked at me and he said, no. That's not what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna take you to this trap house in Marrero. It's always Marrero. I'm gonna take you to this trap house in Marrero where this dude's gonna make you watch his infant while a pit bull barks at you. And knowing you, he might stick a gun in your mouth. And I was just like, oh my God! Is the pit bull a rescue at least? Since I got sober, I found it really hard to find drugs. Not on the street, at my own home. I hid them everywhere. I don't know where they are. I used to hide my cocaine in my books at home. It's a really good hiding place. Because I only lived with illiterate gay guys and normal straight guys, so I knew my drugs would be safe. In literature, you know. Sometimes I get home from the bar all fucked up, couldn't find my coke. Devastating. But sometimes I would find it. But I'd keep reading. And I read a lot of books on cocaine. Like The Handmaid's Rail. And Forrest Bump. And Snorton Here's a Who. And Charlotte's Web of Lies and Paranoia. I Know Why the Crack Pipe Stinks. That's a good one. To Kill a Mockingbird and Bring It Back to Life with Narcan. That's a good one. Shooting Up with the Kardashians. That's a TV show, actually. Ketamine Girls. That's a movie. My favorite one was Harry Poppers and the Methley Hollows. And that's what I call reading between the lines. Okay, that's that whole joke. That's because I love that punchline. I wrote the whole joke around it. That's how comedy works. Oh, please. I know, it's good. It's well written, is what it is. You guys like threesomes? Way more enthusiastic than the 7 p.m. show. What if that was my plan the whole time, was to come up here, tell jokes, and at some point be like, 2 of you, fuck me! That's not what I'm doing. But what if it was? How fun would that be? I think, look, I think gay threesomes are easy. It's just a +1 dick. Phone a friend, if you will. But straight couples, a lot of you guys, if you guys want to have a threesome, you have to decide what gender you're bringing into the bedroom first, right? That's got to be a tough conversation. I think that's why we should have gender reveal parties.
Yes.
Just rebrand them for straight couples finding out who they're getting, you know? Like you pop a cannon and it's pink confetti and it's a girl. And that's the only time a guy's ever excited he's having a girl. Okay, shut up. Oh, fuck you, I'm a feminist. I'm a feminist, I know my tampon size, it's fine. It's a venti. I wrote that today, I thought it was so funny. Girls, ladies, make some noise. Let me give you some time. I love you guys. Thank you guys for coming. Clearly, I have a lot of girlfriends. I love straight girls in the gay bar. A lot of gay guys don't like that. I love it. I think straight girls in the gay bar are a lot like the dudes at the tailgate who didn't go to college there. Does that make sense? It makes sense. I'm like, on the one hand, you're in our space and you're drinking all the Mike's Hard Lemonade, but on the other hand, thanks for being here. You know? I love girls. I love my girlfriends. I love having sleepovers with my girlfriends. And I love having girl talk. Up until a point. My friend was over the other night and she was like, so I met this really hot guy. And I was like, yeah? She goes, I brought him back to my place. And I was like, yeah? And then she goes, he had the biggest dick I've ever seen. And I was like, yeah? And she goes, I let him fuck me in every room in my apartment. And I was like, yeah? And then she said, and then I squirted everywhere. And I was like, ew! Gross! I don't want to talk about that! Did you put a towel down? That's a good sofa, you leaky bitch! Oh. Get out of my apartment, Emily! You're supposed to be my surrogate! You know? So ladies, I want the details, just not all the juicy details. Okay. I went to the movies last week, and there was a couple who was chattering nonstop. They were chattering, they were talking through the whole movie. So about 30 minutes into the movie, I finally spun around. And I was just like, hey, shut the fuck up! But when I turned around, I realized that one of the girls was blind. I know. And her friend had been narrating the movie to her the whole time. That's why they were talking. And I was so embarrassed. I was humiliated. Until the blind girl went, hey, who the fuck said that? And I laughed. I laughed so hard. So I ended up leaving because I was so embarrassed. So the bad news is, I don't know how that movie ends. But the good news is, I did steal her popcorn on the way out. She has no idea. That joke makes it sound like I'm making fun of blind people. I'm not making fun of blind people. In fact, I used to date a blind guy. And the best part about dating a blind guy is you can go through his phone right in front of him at the dinner table. You know? I found out he was cheating on me, though. Yeah, he was cheating on me, but all of his dick pics were just pictures of the ceiling fan. So, look, if it makes you feel better, he gave me herpes. He gave me herpes, but I felt it and I was like, is this Braille? Is this a message? We gotta figure out what this says. So if you're a blind guy who wants to decode my dick after the show, you can just find me on Blinder, everybody. Look, I also, I don't fuck outdoorsy guys anymore. Because on Grindr, outdoorsy just means homeless. And if you fall in love with a homeless guy, he lives rent-free in your head and anywhere else he wants. And that's just not fair. Okay, unhoused. Shut up. I got it. I'm on your side. These are not real. When Roe v. Wade was overturned, I was upset. And I was pissed. And I stood in solidarity with my female-identifying friends and families. Of course I did. But as a man, it was really hard for me to wrap my head around the government taking your choices away from you. That was really hard for me. Until January 1st of 2024, when Louisiana banned vapes. And then I got real my body, my choice real fucking quick. I'm a recovering drug addict. I need that little Tamagotchi with a dick on it. I need it. It is the only thing keeping me off the streets. Trust me, I want to go back to the streets. Snorting cocaine is a lot more fun than huffing grape-flavored computer fog, everybody. But what are we going to do? Hold a march for people who vape? Where are we going to have that march? Outside of a gas station at 2 in the morning? In the bathroom of a Spirit Airlines flight? Under the covers while my spouse is asleep? Where are we going to have that march? The truth is, look, I love vaping because I want that cancer. I know. I want that cancer no one knows anything about yet. Watermelon grapefruit hybrid cancer. Like, cancer with iOS 25. Cancer that'll be obsolete in 6 months. Like that. What I'm trying to say is I deserve the right to kill something. Even if it is in my own body. See, ladies, I was with you the whole time. It was a women's right. It was a women's rights joke all along. It was all for you. Okay, I'm leaving in a minute. I promised you suicide jokes. Do you want them?
Yeah.
Well, you're getting them. Before I got married, I dated a lot. You could say that I had hoes in different area codes. Or you could say that I had different bussy in Tallahassee, Chattanooga, and Albuquerque. You could say that. You could say that. You could say that, but I would never save anyone's numbers. I dated a lot. I would never save anyone's numbers because I'm superstitious. I'd be like, if I save your number, then I'll know your name, and then I can fall in love with you, and then you could hurt me. So let's just not do that. But then every time I'd get a text from an unknown number, I'd be like, ooh, I wonder which one this could be. And half the time it was Walgreens telling me that my antidepressants were ready. You know? And I'd be like, just in time. I suffer with depression. Anyone else in here? Anxiety? Anxiety always gets the spike. They always win. That's crazy because of anxiety. I think it's weird how depression shows up sometimes. Like, have you ever been giving a blowjob and thought, uh-oh. Are my eyes watering or are these real tears? Is this dick too thick or do I need to connect more with my parents before they die? My therapist also tells me that I have a problem with empathy, that I'm not very empathetic. And that's because about a year ago, my friend committed suicide. And when she did, her mom called me and she said, hey, she left a note. And she mentioned you in the note, so I need you to come over to the house so we could read it together. So I drove over to her mom's house. I sat across the table from her just like that. She slid the note across the table to me. I picked it up, I looked at it, and I was like, oh my God, this is full of typos. I'm not reading this. And just like... just like slid it right back. She had body dysmorphia, and she hated the way that she looked. and I had to go to the funeral. And I'm happy to report that she's almost finally near her goal weight. She got frustrated when she hung herself because even the noose fit too tight. But she can finally fit in a size 2 coffin. They really should have cremated her, though. She earned it. Like, earned it with a U. Okay, straight guys love this. I'm telling you, it's their favorite thing. That's why I do it. If they don't like the whole hour when I get to suicide, they're like fucking cheering and shit. You fucking... This dude's losing his mind. Oh. If you're trying to fuck me, it's working. Look, I'm gonna tell one more joke, but before I do that, I just want to thank you guys for coming out. This has been so... This has been so much fun. I hope that you've enjoyed this as much as me. This has been cuckoo bananas. And like, I was counting on the 9 o'clock to be better. Do not tell the 7. Y'all were way fucking better. Like, I still killed, but like, this was fun. So like, I have a lot of hope for the future. I do. Except for these young gays. These young gay children. They're getting really bold. They are. I did a show recently and this kid walked up to me. This is a true story. This kid walked up to me after the show and he said, "Hey, I just want to let you know. It was really nice to hear the perspective of an elder queer cisgender individual." And I just looked at him like, "Dude, I think you said old fag wrong." I said, "Dude, I'm not that old. I was born in the 80s. And this kid looked me in the eyes and he said, "Hey, the 80s? What was the AIDS crisis like?" And I couldn't think of anything funny to say. So I just looked at him and I was like, "Do you want to come back to my hotel room and find out?" Okay, all right. It's been a lot of fun. Give it up for Saya, everybody. Have a good night.
Never made a video you didn't embed. I got a new pair of shoes and my hair done. Where's Sunny Moore? Damn, when I'm